President Biden says the U.S. banking system is safe and is secure despite the collapse of one of the country's largest regional banks. The president says the government will back all deposits made at Silicon Valley Bank, but no tax dollars will be used to ensure those payments. Melanie Travis is the founder and CEO of Andie Swim. It's a women's swimwear company, and she was banking exclusively with Silicon Valley Bank. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
We will have to explain in a later segment why the president is saying taxpayers are not going to be on the hook for this. I guess it's got to do with the fees that banks pay into. But I want to talk about you because you've had a wild weekend, I can imagine.
Yes.
On Friday, this bank goes under. All of your company's money is in that bank.
Yep.
What's your state of mind?
Panicked, flustered. You know, I was on a call with a few of my executive team Friday around midday thinking, okay, what bank should we move to? Because we knew there was this crisis looming. And during that call, I got a push notification that the bank had collapsed and the U.S. government had seized the assets. And there was about 3 minutes of silence on the phone. And it was like, did our company just go bankrupt like this? Did we just lose everything? It was, wow. I've never had a feeling like that in all my years of working, and certainly not since I started Andie.
And so this is how you pay vendors, this is how you pay employees, how you pay yourself?
Exactly. It's payroll, it's all of our bills, it's how we pay our suppliers. It is everything that the company has, and it was gone in an instant.
Yeah, I mean, so you were telling our producers you're feeling a little bit better about things today. But I mean, what could this really have meant for your business? You've had this business for 6 years.
Yes. I mean, it would have wiped us out. We had no money. I mean, we have payroll coming up this week, and the first thing I thought was, how are we going to pay our employees? I have 32 employees. We're based in New York City, and I thought, how are we going to pay them? How are we going to pay our suppliers for the product? How are we going to pay just all the bills that we have? And it was, I just thought, wow, maybe this is, you know, the final nail in the coffin. And we lived through COVID. We got through that. And then for this to be the end, I just was in shock.
So then fast forward to Sunday late, I think there's an announcement, and then the president comes out today, 9 a.m. He gives a speech in which he says to you and to everyone else, yes. Rest assured, Melanie, your money is going to be there.
Yes.
How was that communicated to you, and is the money there? I mean, have you checked?
So nothing was communicated to me, you know, individually. I've been getting the news just like everybody else has, and I've been trying to relay to the team everything I know, but I know what everybody else knows. It's really been happening in real time for the last, 48, 72 hours. What was the other question?
So is the money there, right?
Oh,
he says rest assured.
How do you know?
People were lining up before dawn in California. Right. I mean, they wanted to walk out with gold bars. Like, do you have your money?
We can see it, but as of 5 minutes ago, we have not been able to actually touch it or do anything with it. I imagine there's probably an enormously long queue of folks trying to now move their money. So we can see the dollar signs on the online portal, but we have not been able to move it. We've not been able to access it. So now we're going through this litany of tasks to, email and call all of our vendors to say, supposedly we have this back, but you're going to have some patience with us. So
are you going to move it, or is there no staying?
Yeah, because what do you do now, right?
What happens?
So one of the first things I did on Friday when I found the news was literally ran out of my apartment and ran to a Chase Bank to open an account with them.
Wow.
Yeah, imagine, right. I imagine you were probably not the only one,
No,
right?
There were a lot of us running to banks to open accounts. I mean, I've never assessed a bank like that and just run. And so then, we are a company that sells a product, right? We sell product on our website that consumers buy. And so we needed a bank where their money for the product would go. And so we had to, it was a lot of work Friday to open up Chase, hook it up to all of our systems behind the scenes. We use Shopify, all of that, so that when consumers are buying our swimsuits, there's a place for the money to go. So that has happened over the weekend, and now, yes, we plan on moving every last dollar from what used to be SVB into our new Chase account. then we'll see what happens from there. But I think a big lesson is don't just have one account. So we'll certainly be diversifying.
But I mean, this is shocking. It has not happened much in American history, and so I don't think anyone can blame you. I mean, one of the questions everyone has is about ripple effects, right? So your income is someone else's payroll, and then that payroll becomes someone else's income, right? Like that's how the economy works.
Exactly.
If you can't pay somebody, then they can't pay somebody. So
exactly.
Does it look like you're going to be able to pay people and life goes on?
It sounds like yes, given the news from last night, even though right now we don't have access to our cash, it sounds like we will have access. And so now it's really a matter of just communicating with our employees, our vendors, and saying, we should be able to access this capital. We should be able to pay our bills. But things are just going to be delayed, and people need to understand. But I mean, if the government hadn't done this, then there would have been a lot. I mean, I think there were something like 40,000 small businesses served by Silicon Valley Bank. We would have been wiped out without our money to pay our employees.
Wow. It's amazing to see somebody in this chair that's living through what is this massive news event right now. Thank you for giving us a little bit of your time.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. Melanie Fisher of Andie Swim.